Are we rolling?
Yeah, we're rolling.
Where do I look?
Yeah, I don't even know.
You look there.
I look here.
You look there, and I look there. As we have the triple cam.
Is that camera just on me?
No, it's
Or
on
is it
Hayden
getting-
too.
Oh, okay. We're
It's on.
buddies
It's on
for
I'm
this?
sorry, not Hayden. Hayden bought 3,000. Sorry
Yes.
for the.
We have rebuilt him.
Exactly. We still don't have the crane robot belly thing going on yet, but
We don't. We don't need that.
we
He is
don't.
better,
That's
though.
debatable.
Like-
I
We
would
don't
say
need
we
it.
do, but that's our tech division. That's their duty. Anyway, hello, welcome to episode 56.
Oh my god.
56.
It just keeps going.
Wait,
Got it.
56 of Role Slayers / Triple Cam Take 2.
did we make the 55 joke?
The what?
The 55 joke.
Did we make it every time leading up to it and then missed it?
There was a lot going on. Also, I didn't know that you were going to make that joke. Anyway.
Oh, well.
Before we get into tonight's actual game, we always do our little announcements. And so I believe Jeremy has some announcements, probably. They're definitely planned.
What are you doing now?
The belly, the fire,
Burping
the
out.
belly of the dragon. Which is probably a Slider King option. And if you don't know who the Slider King is, it's Sirenscape.com. Check them out. Also, because we are incorporating multiple uses of various music and compositions, check out rollslayers.com/partners to see all of our list of partners that we work with for the podcast, or really that work with us. As you know, we don't really get paid to do what we do. So we are just here for the community, and a lot of people have signed up and said, yes, we want to be part of that as well. And so they're helping us out. But a lot of the music that we use is from BeyondSkyrim.org. So check them out. Really love their music. That's it. That's all I got.
I thought you were about to,
Give a spiel.
yeah, I thought you had a pitch coming up, and I was like, what is he going to pitch? He already...
No, do you not know? I'm currently dealing with my insides trying to creep to my outside.
Yeah, what is it? Oh, yeah. You're a
I'm
big
eating-
proponent of snacking during sessions, isn't that right?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So who is it? Who's my spirit animal that does the same? Is it Brennan Mulligan? Is that his
Brennan
name?
Lee Mulligan? Yeah, he
yeah.
likes to snack.
Yeah. So I found out that it's okay.
It is. Okay.
It's okay.
John, do you have anything to say for us?
Yeah, speaking of snacks, I'm over here enjoying my Baja
Ooh.
Blast. And
You're doing it right. Shoot.
you get, okay, if y'all,
Dinner of Champions.
so right now the Taco Bell employees wear these t-shirts that say Taco Bell born and raised, which have y'all noticed that Taco Bell just has this really specific kind of branding that's you know what? I'm just here for a Mexican pizza. I'm not here to buy a lifestyle. Right?
That's what they sell. They sell fourth meal lifestyle.
Yeah. But anyways, World Anvil. Check them out. Who in your fantasy world is the overly aggressive branding fast food chain?
That's
Right.
an interesting question, especially for, I feel like if you're doing a cyberpunk campaign, there's some really interesting stuff you can do with aggressive fast food chains or something.
Actually, I heard that they have discovered in Pompeii the ruins of what appears to be an early fast food restaurant from antiquity,
Interesting.
with these
Pretty cool.
these stone tables with bowls set into them, and then underneath is a place for fires.
Oh,
With
kind of
the-
like a Mongolian
Yeah, like a buffet.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
That's
Yeah,
That's
isn't that
pretty sweet?
Isn't that crazy?
Well, now I'm sad that the volcano. Oh, I mean, it was sad anyway, but I'm sad that the volcano took that out.
Yeah, I know. There's the forerunner of Taco Bell.
Yeah.
We've lost so much historically.
We really have. I wonder what kind of Crunchwrap recipes we lost in the burning of the Library of Alexandria. Who knows? But anyways, figure all that out for your fantasy world in World Anvil. Follow our affiliate link at worldanvil.pxf.io/rollslayers. You like that segue? That was a good segue.
Yeah,
That was a
great.
great segue.
Not planned. We just
No, but I was genuinely interested.
Okay.
So.
Anyways, yeah. Take it.
Last but not least, follow us on all our socials. We love to interact with you there. We are very active in the Discord, as we've said in the past. We are always chatting about random stuff.
Mostly in our private, like non-public channels, though.
What?
I don't
That's
feel
not
like
true.
that's the case.
Well, it's both and.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're pretty much always.
You probably
chatting
don't
somewhere.
want to hear me asking Rigo for technical information about our podcast.
How many pixels, Rigo?
Right.
What sound jargon, etc.
No, instead you're probably there for the JRPG memes and
Oh yeah,
and my Captain Planet polls.
Captain
Yes,
Planet. The
all of
Comedy
them.
Central Captain Planet is a masterpiece. Check that
What?
out. Shameless plug. Don Cheadle is amazing.
You're supposed to be
that
plugging
one.
our social. You're talking
Follow
about
us on social and Discord. And if you use our code in checkout at Eldritch Foundry, code is RollSlayers, you'll get 15% off.
Yeah. Check out our Discord. Check out our Twitter. Just be there.
Patreon.
Check out our OkCupid.
Ooh.
We've
See
created
if
dating
you match
profiles
with
for
the
each-
Roll Slayers.
Each character. Vinny has a dating profile. It's great.
We
Remy's on
definitely
Farmers
not.
Only. Oh boy,
He's on
I'm
what
losing
now?
it.
Speaking of farmers only, we've got some ideas after this next quest.
Yes.
Was this in the non-DM chat?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yes, we do have a No Tyler Allowed channel on the Discord as well.
Well, let's not waste any more time. And let's get into episode 56. So, as we left off, the party made their way from Oromond to Goldenrod Villa, seeking to track down the notorious Cartagia family, and Alin specifically wanting to make them pay for events that never transpired, but might have if she had had her vision come true. So, dispatching the guards and making their way to a vault, they found Linus Cartagia, who had heard from a bugbear bodyguard of trouble in the yard and had prepared accordingly. The fight with a Bahir lasted quite some time, but upon dispatching the bugbear, thanks to Cyrus, and upon dispatching the Bahir, thanks to Remy punching a hole through its entire body, you were able to apprehend Linus Cartagia. Elin tied him up. You guys discovered some incriminating letters and numbers and deeds down below, as well as some treasure, a ring of spell storing. I believe there were also 2 war horses and a what looks to be a warehouse deed with a name that's not attached to the Cartagias. And Alin said she was going back to Erngal to try Linus Cartagia. You also found a scroll of...
The war horses were for Alin and for her squire, weren't they?
No.
I was like, oh, wait, that would have been perfect.
I mean,
Okay,
they could have been, but they weren't specifically for...
Now.
Too bad we don't have that spell thing anymore. Anyway, go ahead.
He has the circle.
Oh, you still have that.
Well, so it was a scroll, but he copied the circle down, so whenever he gets teleportation circle, the spell, he can use it. but I think he has to be like level 8 or level 10 for that or something.
Heck yeah.
It'll be a bit.
Regardless, Alin teleported away with her captive, forgetting behind Kaya. But we left off in the wake of the battle. Alin had just departed. And we find the party. Now taking a breath. Before we get into the game, though, Remy, could you make like 5 D100 rolls for me?
I already did this part at the end of last session. So I think, where are we right now? What's happening?
You are in the basement of Goldenrod. We're picking up exactly where we left off.
All right. Well, Remy turns around to everyone and just says, "Well, what now?" And then his sideburns explode and into like a Martin Van Buren old-timey president style giant sideburns. Still kind of a noticeable patch right in the middle of his face where a mustache and chin beard goes.
Mind you, he is also still absolutely covered in purplish blue blood and also intestines.
Oh no. What happened? Is my skin melting?
No. Let me help you. And Vinny waves his fingers, prestidigitation. And you've just received your first laundering from Vinny.
Oh, this is quite nice. Haven't worked with anybody with this kind of attention to detail. Also, what happened to my face?
What indeed? What's
I'm not sure what happened there, but it looks
I think
fantastic.
I need you to be more clear. What did it do?
Whiskers. They look good.
Oh. I kind of pat them. Well, it's got to be the belt. I've definitely heard of this. I honestly didn't really believe it when, I wore it for 5 days and nothing happened.
So is this a mutton stash situation, or is this just the sideburns?
It is just the sideburns. I think.
Love it.
I gotta be honest. I was kind of hoping it would fill in a little more. And he kind of prods at the middle of his face. But you can't win them all, I guess.
No, it looks smashing.
Oh, does it?
I mean, and sometimes it does. It does take a few years for it to really fill in completely once.
Yeah, I mean, I think for most people it probably is filled in a bit more than mine, but I get this is fine.
I mean, it was real patchy for me when I was, 16 also. And
I'm almost 30 years old. I told you this. I'm not a child.
Oh, I'm sorry. Height just confuses me sometimes.
Venuthra.
Yes.
Bells is still absolutely was inside of the thing.
Yeah.
And so her hair is all stuck to her face and all of her clothes are drenched in this nasty purple thing.
Shring.
Thank you for that.
Of course. Anyone else? Going once, going twice.
I could honestly use a bit of a rest. That was quite eventful for me.
Yes. And Alin is... I mean, the way she was speaking, it sounded like she had no plans of walking this Eltheris again. I'm so sorry.
That's good.
Oh, man.
Well, somebody's gonna have to tell Kaya.
Oh my goodness, Kaya!
Yeah, I think Alin just forgot about her.
Should we...
Yes, I'll go run and get her, and should we bring her inside?
I think the threat is vanquished, so yeah, might be good to go get her.
Yes. I'd just take off running.
Okay. You make it your way outside and winch up the door to the villa, and down the terraced hill, and see Kaya camping out. All the horses picketed. She's got a couple tents up, one for Lynn and one for herself. That she had been carrying around, and she's got the cookware up. Oh, hi.
Oh, Kaya, there's Lynn has.
Oh, does she need her horse?
She's left, actually. Quite a bit happened in there. Well, we found Linus.
And unfortunately,
right.
Lynn is no longer with us.
Yes, she left with him through a teleportation circle, I think, something, and took him back to Erangel.
Oh.
And I'm not sure that she'll be back ever.
Well, sounds like I better start walking.
Stop walking?
Go back to Erangel.
Why wouldn't you take a horse?
Oh, well, I'll take a horse, of course. But, won't you be needing them?
Oh,
Where are you headed again?
well, that's true, I suppose. Though we did just get two. Okay, wait, who came with me who came with me?
I don't know.
Vinny-
Apparently Cyrus.
I'm with
Cyrus
you.
did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Remy and Vinny are still inside.
Okay.
I think you should certainly take at least one horse for yourself.
All right. That's easy enough to do. And leave the rest with you.
Yes, I suppose so. You want to get going right now?
Oh, I could probably leave in the morning.
Yeah, that's probably a good
Why don't
idea.
you come inside with us and rest, and then we'll send you on your way in the morning if that's what you want.
I could do that. I've already made camp down here. You could just camp out here, but I'm happy to move everything.
Oh,
Why
Do
don't
you
we,
expect to be attacked again?
I don't expect
We-
it, though
we
we
can-
haven't really.
we can look around
the
and
perimeter,
see if
yes.
there might be a little more comfortable lodgings inside.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to be roughing it anymore if you have, stone walls around you.
Yeah,
That's true.
exactly.
Oh, well, I'll pack right up. I'll be right up. She starts to douse the fire and put away her cookware and pack up. And she'll make her way back up the hill. Remy, Vinny, do you guys have anything that you're doing while the other two go down?
Well, Remy, that was the end of this quest. What lies in front of you? Shall you come with us to Degguldaar?
Well, if you'll have me, I mean, I would plan on staying with you. You've in a matter of days helped unravel a slavery ring, so that's a pretty solid starting point. And as I mentioned before, I do kind of have to join up where I'm most useful, without, of course, disrespecting the tenets of my fellowship.
Sure.
And this seems like an all right fit so far.
Yeah. So tell me. It seems as if you will help anyone in need, but what other political tenets do you have, if any?
It's actually the opposite. I'm forbidden from having those.
Oh, well, then you'll fit right in. I've been told we cannot sign up to be part of warring armies, and we cannot. However, everywhere we go, we seem to make friends and find ourselves to be useful in a rather goodish way. So,
Good. I'd hope so.
I
That
think
would be
you're in
kind of-
good company.
Oh, good. Well, I think that it's been good to kind of get my feet under me for the last few days. I think that moving forward, we'll be able to have a productive and mutually beneficial business relationship.
Absolutely. In fact, we seem to have. Well, I don't know if it's if you are mutually, being a part of our band is going to interfere with your prior commitments, but the Guild of Goodwill is more of I don't know, just a brand. It's not as much it hasn't been formulated into anything more official. Just a way for people to get to know us and find us if necessary. In fact, we have acquired some land under the name of the Guild of Goodwill in Drasber, on the Drasber side of the Sindency-Drasber border. And, well, we were thinking of... we have that because we made friends in Drasber, and we've made friends in Urungal. We have, obviously, friends in Oromon. So we really are on all sides in ways.
Well, that's good to hear. Maybe I should be more specific when everyone gets back. I could outline the guiding tenets I have, and we can deal with objections if there are objections, and move forward from there.
A business meeting it is, and an appropriate time when we have seemed to have lost one of our members permanently. That's not going to be easy.
That was very sudden. I was a little surprised to see her go, but I admire the commitment to such a noble goal.
Yeah, surprising would be the last thing that I would say that would characterize it. However, I wasn't ready. That is certain. Oh, here they are now.
Hello.
Yes. Oh, I need to sit down for a moment. Excuse me, please.
I think we could all stand to rest. Why don't we look around and see if we can find a good place to stay in here while we're here? I assume there's going to be some sort of lodgings.
Do you think there are any other threats on the grounds that we need to be aware of?
If there are, I would presume that they would be, mercenaries like the guards out front. And if their boss is gone, then I think we should be okay.
I mean, I wouldn't work for someone if I knew that they were not going to pay me. So
exactly.
Convincing them of that might be another story, but we can do some rounds, but perhaps take a bit of a rest before doing so, and then we can settle in for the night.
Yes, that sounds wonderful. I just need to rest a moment.
Well, I have Linus's ring right here. That should be proof enough if we come across anyone.
That's true.
Certainly. I feel up for a jaunt around the premises. I'll go and investigate and see if there are any traps or...
Alone? What if there is a trap and you're alone?
Well, I've gotten myself out of many sticky situations. Anyone's can come with me if they'd like, though.
Yes, let's look around.
Okay. Sounds good.
Are you looking for anything specific?
Remy, are you coming with us?
Yeah. Yes. I do plan to.
Okay. Bells. You said Kaya would. Is Kaya coming in, or?
Yes.
You see her actually leading all the horses in through the gate right now, 2 by 2, since she, only has 2 hands.
Excellent. So, Kaya, will you stay with Bells while she rests?
Yeah. Let me get the horses. I'll be right there, Miss Bells.
Don't trip over that dead half dragon over there.
Oh, I'll stay clear. Thank you.
We're really just. Really, the intent is to scout the premises and see if there's any threats that we should be aware of.
Okay, just make a generic investigation check for me.
I'll guide myself.
Since I'm with them, should I roll also?
Yeah, if you'd like to.
I'll guide you if you want, or if you're with me.
Okay.
I'll guide you and
Okay.
I'll give you advantage. You roll it.
21.
Okay.
That'll work.
You spend some time thoroughly looking around Goldenrod Villa. On the exterior, you don't find much more than what you kind of had already glimpsed. There is a collapsed church. You do see some symbolism of the god Arathis. There is a rotted out stable with a stone foundation, a flagstone, seemingly training yard, and a stone wine room down below the back of the house.
Is there any wine in it?
There are many barrels. If you'd like to take some time, you can try and see if there's any wine.
I'll look, and if I see one, I'll Tensor's floating disc a barrel behind me.
Okay, make another investigation check for me.
Okay. 13.
13. You find most of these barrels are full.
Okay.
Are you wanting to select one?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll a d8 for me.
Okay.
Is there a way to like uncork it and smell it?
So you pick a barrel. It seems to be about a medium-sized wine barrel, a cask about yay high.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to cast Tensor's floating disc and see if I can hoist that onto it and just bring it with me back to the others.
You absolutely can, and you keep looking around. Within the house, you find a very decayed furniture, very dusty goldenrod villa that has several apartment halls with bedrooms and water closets, a large kitchen in one area, a walled garden. It's a very nice house, or was a very nice house at one point.
Vinny would be also searching desks, any papers he might find for proof of ownership of the house, deeds.
Sure.
Anything that might indicate that that it was formerly owned by the Cartagias or someone else. Just trying to understand whether was this like an abandoned keep that was taken over by bandits, or was it more like owned in the family? So, like, who might come back to see us?
I believe you guys made a history check a couple sessions ago.
We did. I remember.
It was owned by the Sutherlands, a family from before the Ascendancy existed, and when they were forcefully brought into the Ascendancy. They ceased to exist, and the estate fell under ruin.
And is this in Alanco lands?
It's not in the Alanco lowlands. It's within the Primarazia grasslands.
Is that would we know if that's under control of the Blackthorn Ascendancy?
Currently, yes.
Okay. So
it's just south of, not just south, but it's south of that checkpoint that you guys went through, the Justicar checkpoint, and it's north of Startyke.
Okay, so Vinny will kind of nudge Cyrus. I wonder if anyone's going to come back to this place. Maybe we can pick up some land in this side of town, or this side of the continent.
Yeah, I'm going to guess. It's pretty late in the day right now, right?
Yeah. It's probably like 2-3 p.m.
Yeah. I suspect that if anyone is coming, probably not tonight. What I'm looking for right now is just a little bit more comfortable place to stay than, the dungeon.
Oh yeah, these apartments I think would do very well.
I think so too. And I found some wine. Look at that.
Hey, all right. Remy, what did you find?
Some brown grass. That's about it.
Oh, were you looking around too, Remy?
I rolled a 7.
A 7? You found some nice fresh fruit in the garden. The walled garden.
Oh, I did find some strawberries. The little ones that grow wild.
Oh, excellent.
These will taste delicious.
If we could find some biscotti or something, that would be just...
Yes, and let me guess, so we're going to dip it in the wine?
Well, yeah.
I think I could maybe spin some up this evening.
Oh, really? You do pastry work?
Well, rudimentary stuff. If we've got some older bread, maybe I can, turn that over.
Okay. Well, let's go get the others. We might need to carry Bells up to one of the beds here. She looks pretty worse for the wear.
you do find Bells has followed Kaya, and she's lit a fire in one of the old kitchen stoves and is working on a meal.
Excellent.
Please let me help. I've got some utensils that are a bit, not as rusted as these ones.
Oh, sure, a pleasure. Yeah, go right on in. Whatever you'd like to cook, that'd be more than fine.
Vinny will play.
I'm gonna start masterfully preparing us. I don't even know what food we have, what provisions.
We got some nasty meat.
We've got nasty meat. We've got dried meat. We've got beans.
I've got some meat in my quiver.
We're all gonna get scurvy.
Considering how much detail we go into when we sit down and have a nice meal in town, our provisions are pretty
bare bones.
Yeah.
I would say Remy's probably got some carrots and potatoes.
Kaya's brought a few fresh provisions as well. She was serving a night, so
I'm gonna make a hearty stew.
You're able to make a passable dinner. It fills your belly, makes you feel warm inside. It's pretty good.
While they're cooking, Vinny's just going to go find a place in whatever, I don't know, day quarters.
Sure.
Sofa, whatever.
Sure.
Not necessarily away from anyone, but, just kind of doing his own thing. It's kind of like on Thanksgiving after you've eaten, you just kind of all milling about the house. Yeah, It's kind of like one of those things. And so while you're cooking, I think he's just going to, he's just really going to probably be twiddling his thumbs a bit, but kind of processing everything that's happened so far.
Before too long, dinner is ready. You fill your bellies and can camp out in one of the bedrooms for the evening if you'd like. Most of the bedding is gone at this point. It's been a couple 100 years.
So before we break dinner, I thought we could have a brief discussion on limitations and things on my end. I would hate to, for everyone to be taken by surprise if I do something weird or odd.
I'm sure you're being overly
what sort
conscious.
of things are you talking about?
Well, okay. So just some general rules that anyone from the Tender Heart Fellowship does follow to a T. I thought I would kind of go through those. That way, nobody's surprised. Namely, you'll recall the Dragon Man outside.
Yes, of
I
course.
neglected to maybe cut his legs off when I had the chance.
Sure.
Okay.
The basics of it is if even if someone presents an imminent threat, I can't necessarily do anything to prevent that until that person has taken some kind of an action. Because you never know what's in somebody's heart.
I'm not laughing at you. I didn't expect in this day and age to hear someone so, well, shall I say, tender-hearted.
No, it's a little tacky, I realize. But on the other hand, on the other side of that, in the event that they do something that deliberately causes myself or someone else harm, I do have to dispatch them as quickly and violently as possible. I think you knew that part.
When you were saying how you didn't kill, and then I was thinking about the big beast downstairs, and how you very much slaughtered with your bare hands that beast.
Right, but beasts also don't really count into that. It's more just sentient beings. Well, actually, was that thing sentient? It didn't matter anyways. He was chomping at everybody, so...
Oh, he was a total scuttbag, for certain.
he was a total crap bag. But yeah, the point there.
He does. He doesn't swear either.
I no.
Come on, say it with a scuttbag.
Say
He
it.
was that.
Our goal is going to be to teach Remy wild cusses.
I know
Yes,
how to.
absolutely.
I grew up on docks. I know how to swear. I just don't because it's crap.
Well, what's your favorite swear? Do you have a favorite swear?
I would say it's probably rats.
I'm not.
Huh. I think we can maybe be a little bit more creative. My favorites are portmanteaus, such as cactastrophe, caxplosion.
Oh,
That one, you only use that one in very dire circumstances.
well,
then,
that's not part of the fellowship. It's just a personal thing. If you were wondering on that front, so just I think my grandmother would probably. Well, no, she wouldn't care one bit. My mother would probably slap me senseless.
She would
However,
slap you.
It's an expression. She would never slap me.
Because if she did, according to your Tenderheart Fellowship rules,
Was she also a Tenderheart?
you might have to deal with that situation.
quickly and
Yes.
violently.
But also, my mother would never slap me. That would be horrifying. In any case, no, that's also not quite how it works. There's a difference between vital harm versus, somebody getting frustrated in the street. I'm not gonna beat a man to death if he's drunk and shoving people.
Well, that's good. to
You
know.
seem to have so many rules, but they don't seem to quite all make sense.
Well, and,
Hey,
he uses his judgment, right?
Yeah, that's the crux of it is using our judgment. The rules are pretty strict, and it's up to us to kind of, never really interpret them. Just know when the rules are being kicked off.
Well,
Okay, well,
different people have. Lynn had her rules and rituals. I've got certain lines I don't typically cross. We've all got.
Slavery's not one of those, by the way. He will do slavery and
No,
propagate.
That
Well,
was
see-
not. They were whispering things in my brain.
Oh, right.
That wasn't me. That does not represent who I am
Oh,
or
that-
my values.
There it is. I'm just pushing your buttons.
See, there's
Are
a
there
good
other buttons
example.
around here? I'm just pulling your levers.
But there's another great example. Is like Cyrus. Oh God. Levers are more advanced than buttons, I think.
The lever was actually, I think, one of the first simple machines ever invented.
I'm gonna burp
Along with
into
the
this
fulcrum.
microphone. I will make this unlistenable.
I'm just going to tell you a button generally requires electricity, so probably
That's
not.
fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm right. I'm just kidding.
In any case, another great example. I didn't beat Cyrus to death when he was out of his mind, clearly. So it would have seemed on paper like I was supposed to, but no.
it seems
'cause
like
that
all
doesn't
you're
make it-
saying is that you just don't start a fight.
more or less. You
Don't
just have
start
to
a fight,
finish
but if
them.
you find yourself in one, finish it
Quickly and
quickly and
I'm sorry, I didn't
violently.
hear- Yes. It has to be kind of an example. I got pretty good at it, being smaller. Low center of gravity can come in handy for that.
yes,
Right. Anyway, we can explore the finer tenets of your rules, but we kind of probably should talk about what happened these past few days and what might happen the next few.
Yes. We know. We know our course at least. I assume we're still planning on going to Dwarven.
Excuse me, Cyrus, I think that you know that it is called me pulling up my email with all the information. I think you know that it is called Degguldaar.
Oh, yeah.
And
Degguldaar.
some kind of mispronunciation like that might get you laughed out of the city.
Well, I'll get it right.
Yes, we should. What? We're going to deliver this package, and then what exactly?
Well, remind me, do we have the package?
Yeah,
We have it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're not opening it, and I definitely have not looked in it. And I'm not saying that in a funny way. Good grief! Oh, now I'm feeling about. I'm all I can think about is looking in that package.
Well, we could take a little
Anyway.
peek.
I don't think that's a good idea. But anyways, yeah. So we'll go to Degguldaar, but I guess I was somewhat thinking of Alin's departure.
Yes.
Yes, she's just gone now.
How long had all of you traveled with her?
How long?
But
I mean, real world time. About a year.
How long?
about 6 months.
I mean, it was quite some months.
That's enough time to make a good friend.
Yes.
Especially when you're in very many perilous.
Yes, when you find
Battles.
yourself in danger so frequently and come to rely on one another the way that we all have, and we've come to rely on Alin.
And she's why we're here. We were following her on this journey to stop the slave trade, and now she's gone.
Well, we've lost friends before, but they're still with us in our hearts, I suppose.
Well, it just seems. Just seems like there's. Well, what is the Guild of Goodwill without Alin? If I could be just so forward and honest,
Yeah.
it just seemed like she was so much the heart of our operation.
So are you saying you're out of this?
No, I'm not saying that. I think we have a pretty good thing going.
We'll have to some degree, figure out all over again what the Guild of Goodwill is. But she was I didn't always agree with her choices, but she was the one of us with the clearest moral path, moral compass.
And she always came to our aid. She was always at our back, reassuring us multiple times.
If we're the Guild of Goodwill, we mean well, but she was always the one who did well and steered us, our good intentions to actually being good. I think we'll miss that.
I don't know about you all. However, I don't think I've ever been a part of taking down something so nasty as slave trade. I mean, I don't have many alignments when it comes to politics or specific kingdoms, but I do like the pardoning's stance of allowing free people to do free things, to be free to do what you want. And I think that may be what drew me to them, albeit I don't know sometimes whether Mochadis is defeating his own purposes in serving all of these people, but I suppose he's free to do what he'd like. But the imprisonment of other people isn't. I don't know what my moral compass is. It's definitely not that.
I mean, they were assisting the slave trade, so if we think that defeating that is good, then whatever entity was aiding that has to be bad.
Oh no, I with all due respect, it's a very black and white interpretation, and I don't think that you can be so simple. I think people are more complex than that. I don't think that you can just say associated with bad things, therefore bad, or you associated with good. I mean, Alin was a perfect example of someone who had, with even the best of intentions, led us into affairs that honestly probably worsened most people's situation in them. I think, of course, of just outside of Top Tlolul's tower when we, the lizard. I'm not saying that what they were doing was good. But we certainly didn't make that situation better.
I mean, ultimately we did.
I'd like to think so.
I hope so. But I just mean to say that good people make mistakes, and bad people can do good things.
So then what is the point of trying to be the Guild of Goodwill? Why even... what's the point?
Well, I think maybe the determining factor there is a matter of conviction.
How do you know who to help?
Well, Alin knew who to help and who her enemy was, and she didn't always bother herself with every single issue of injustice around her. I mean, at times it maybe felt like that, but there was a more singular tunnel vision she had about her largest mission, and Linus Cartagia was it.
Well, now he's gone, and so what?
And a lot of problems have hopefully gone with him.
Well, you bring up a great point, and I didn't mean to defend Mochadis in saying I agree that he, free to do what he will, could capitalize on things that probably brought many people harm. I think that we could do the opposite. I think that, when I think about Alin, it wasn't like we went to Drasba and then because she was a knight of the Ruby Throne, she just made all of them her enemies. She was very wise in how she posited herself and making friends with people and not picking fights. Kind of like you, Remy. You say, don't pick the fight. I don't know that she always picked the fight unless there was a beastie baddie. They were always easy to pick the fight with. But I just think...
But she did completely throw herself into it where slavery was involved.
Absolutely, and I think we could all agree.
Put herself in deep danger on multiple occasions because of that, with the rest of us trying to stop her.
I completely agree, and I think we brought... I don't know about you, but I feel really good about that feat.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to find that again.
I'm sure it will find us. Listen, I know we probably don't want to work with Mochadis on a regular basis. However, clearing my name would mean a lot to me, and
yes,
I appreciate everyone agreeing.
Yes,
to
of course.
That. And I'm not saying that we should play into his hand, but I was just saying that I think there was something noble in his rules, so to speak, in that people should be free to do as they wish. I think the caveat there is what happens when that freedom infringes on other freedoms.
Right. Dude, if people are free to do as they wish, does that include slavery? For example.
Right, and so what we can do is help people to do what they wish when they have no means of doing it.
And then how do you decide who to help?
Usually the most helpless in the situation.
And what if you help people that then do evil?
Well, that's on them.
I think maybe it's best to... I don't know what I'm trying to say. Best to assume that most people want to do something good, and they should be free
Do you
to
think that's
exercise
true?
that choice.
That most people want to do good.
I think so. I think most people want to do good and find themselves in situations where doing what's good is not exactly clear. I mean, just consider the discussion that we're having right now. We want to do good. We have goodwill. We just don't really know what that is or what that means. And maybe that's clear to us in maybe a more concrete way right now. But I think that's probably the case for most people, most of the time.
Many people don't have choices. Remy?
I also do think that you'll know when the time comes. I mean, most people do. And whenever they don't, it's usually them acting against that. So, you know, I think that it's usually pretty clear in a moment what the right thing to do is. It's just a matter of whether or not we think it's feasible. Unfortunately for me, the right thing always has to be feasible.
That's a that's a very valuable factor in anything that we would ever do. It's very. I mean, if it's not feasible, then what's the point?
I just can't talk about this right now.
Yes. Bells.
I do think you might have misunderstood. When I said it wasn't feasible, I meant that I have to try anyways.
Cyrus is pouring Bells a glass of wine and just handing it to her.
Out, it is actually, at this point, vinegar.
Well, I'm giving it to
And then
Bells.
I would just take it and drink it, and then just like spit it out. What is that?
What, you can't you can't hold your alcohol?
Take a little sniff.
Vinny like
It's
swirls it.
definitely not.
What are you doing to me?
What? It's wine. It's red wine. It was in the wine cellar. Look, let me have some, and I'll try a little bit and spit it out as well. Well, this didn't go according to plan.
I think there's a few more down there.
See, sobriety has its benefits.
Well,
He's sober as
we're
well.
sober now.
Well, you're right. We are very tired. It is not the time to hash out the world's problems. However, we have our next heading. Degguldaar.
Degguldaar.
Excuse
Degguldaar.
Degguldaar, yes. Or Degguldaar. Hang on, it says Degguldaar, is that right?
That's intentional. It's pronounced Degguldaar in common, but it actually is pronounced Degguldaar in Dwarvish.
Why would you spell it like... Oh.
Well, tomorrow
Yes.
we're heading to Diggleton, so let's get some sleep.
Yes, please let's.
Each of you are able to bed down and take a long rest, regain your hit points, regain your expended spell slots, and etc. And awake in the morning, ready to travel. So, as you come to the gates, Kaya hands you the reins to your horses. Which way are you headed?
Do we have enough horses for all of us? Because she could take the one with Lynn. Those war horses. Should we maybe do a little swap?
Yes, absolutely. Well, let's go. Let's go. See about them.
They're nice, like thoroughbred, fine horses that are like big.
How do they respond to us? Are they like kind and friendly?
They're not kind and friendly, but they're not mean. They look like they've been trained to charge into fights.
Mm-hmm.
They're disciplined.
They're disciplined.
Mm.
What do you think, Bells? These look like good horses?
Yes, they look like fantastic horses. I think they will serve us well.
All right. We'll take
Just
them
gotta
with
try
us.
to win them over a little bit. I'm gonna feed one of them a carrot.
nibbles at it with its, its lips flapping like a horse does, and eats the whole carrot and kind of snuffles and then nuzzles you a little bit.
This one, I bet they don't even get names because they're war horses.
Perhaps we should name them.
I'd be like handling mine and caressing it and.
Are any of these the small one? Because I can't think of a way that Remy is going to feasibly ride a war horse.
Neither of the war horses are small. You could probably, you've ridden on the riding horse that you were given from a Linz family.
Okay. As long as I can ride the horse, that's fine.
Yeah. You were given a child saddle.
All right. So Kaya, what's this mean for you? Are you coming with us?
No, I've got to go back to Erangel. Sorry about that. My night's miles away, so.
Sure. Are you sure you don't want? I don't think she's coming back.
Of course, I've gotta be there to help her. It's my duty, and if not, I've got to get reassigned at the Citadel of Roses.
Yes, of course, we understand.
It was good knowing you, Kaya.
Oh, it
Yes.
was a pleasure.
Well,
Meeting
if
each of you guys.
you ever need a change of career,
I'll think on it.
and Vinny gives her a hug.
She hugs you back.
Just like normal.
Yeah.
Just like a normal.
Well, I'm off. And she starts to head down. It's that awkward goodbye where you say bye and then you start heading down the same road.
We're going the same way, aren't we?
But eventually, she starts to turn north on the road, and you guys head.
Well,
Do we know which way to go?
You don't, unless someone wants to make a history check or some other geography check.
well, we pull
I
out
feel
our
like
map.
I would like to make a whatever kind of check that I need to make.
Yeah. Yeah, he would know.
Sure.
I would know.
And I would
not know the direct location of Degguldaar, as these are under the mountains, and the dwarves have their cities are not included on your map.
But he
I
wouldn't
would say
know.
I would know theoretically.
You would.
Yes.
So I'm going to give you a history check with advantage because you may know some stuff.
I got a 13.
13.
Ah,
Okay, I'll give it to you. You know that there are, to get to Degguldaar specifically, there are two options. The first is that there are only two entrances into the Dwarven cities and tunnels. The first being sorry, I just forgot the name of the capital.
Urengal?
Nope, not the capital of the dwarves. Sorry,
Oh, my bad.
that was confusing.
Maybe you should look it up on your world animal.
That's what I'm doing right now. Bonhag Borum. Bonhag Borum has a exterior entrance in the mountains that you can access, and that has tunnels that link to all the other cities. But you have heard that there is a second entrance, exterior entrance to the Dwarven cities through Degguldaar, actually in the mountains, about due east of your position. There was a road that led up into the mountains and into the city.
Well, I've heard that there's a path that does go through the mountains, maybe a bit more direct. If we wanted to take a chance with that, it would be a little faster and maybe more obvious and maybe less traveling in underground tunnels.
Well, I think if we, in the unlikely event that we happen upon a cartographer on our journeys, maybe we can correct course, but that seems like the best direction that any of us have. Let's go that way.
Will you be able to take your horses?
Yes, of course.
What's the terrain like? I mean, if there's...
I don't know, but mountain roads can get real thin.
Huh.
Most people don't take horses in the mountains.
Horses. That's dumb.
That's,
Sorry.
maybe we could find some mountain
We're so
goats
pleased to have
to
a
ride.
horse.
Well, and because horses like navigate the mountains really well.
Not. These are very tall mountains. Like these are.
Horses can navigate mountains better than people.
Okay.
Says the mountain girl.
Okay.
These are different.
It's fine.
Clearly
these are
Different horse.
Alferis mountains.
In the world of Alferis, horses are.
They don't navigate
Remy,
mountains
can you
well.
also
Their knees
make another
drawn
history check for
backwards.
me at advantage.
Who?
Remy.
Okay, history check with advantage. This is gonna work this time, guys. I promise.
According to J.R.R. Tolkien, Bill could not come with them. At some
That's
point
a
of that
17.
That was when they went into the mines.
17?
We're doing that too.
Yeah, they drug him pretty far up the mountains, but he also was not having a good time. 17, you said?
Yeah.
The dwarves actually do have some giant goats that they ride on the mountainside sometimes. So you've heard.
So get this. The dwarves, when they come above ground, they actually get around on these colossal goats. For scaling mountains, and I think they're a bit lower in stature to clear those tougher passes underground.
Oh.
Why, Remy? You seem to know so much about the dwarves.
Well, I just admire their culture a great deal.
Why is that?
Oh, who wouldn't? A culture of honor and craft, and one where there's just a lot there. They're a fascinating and hardy and generally righteous people.
So you've known many dwarves.
I've met some.
Oh,
I've met several dwarves working at the Quintessence. They are not very good about wiping their feet when they enter a building. That's most of what I know about their culture, to be perfectly frank.
Now, to be fair, tracking dirt into someone else's home can be considered a great honor. It's like sharing part of your journey with them.
Well, they also like to prop their feet up in the library with muddy boots. They got mud on a lot of books, and I had to clean them, and I didn't really appreciate it. Like whenever dwarves came by, we were always, Pickle Steve especially. He didn't really like. Jimmy spits a lot. He especially, like, he had a thing. He's kind of racist though. That's a different.
are you going to have a
Different thing.
problem going to this dwarven city?
Oh no! I mean, if we're on their turf, they can not wipe their shoes if they want.
They don't. The worldview that your friends were talking about doesn't seem particularly refined, and doesn't seem to appreciate some of the fineries of dwarven culture. But that's something you probably get more familiar with the more you learn.
Well, shall we be off on our way? And
Are we going north or are we going south?
East.
East. Let's go.
To be clear, are you taking the horses or are you...
Yes, as long as we can.
Okay. So
What are we gonna do with them?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like if we take
We
them
can
and then
stable them here in Goldenrod.
Oh,
that way
can
we can
send
get them
with
on the way
Kaya.
out.
We can send them with Kaya.
Kai just takes a big caravan of horses.
It's up to you guys.
And just leave them there and
Well,
Erngol for us.
we've got a trek ahead of us.
Well, it's Goldenrod Villa. We might as well rename it. It's ours now, isn't it?
is it? It's ours now.
Do we have a
Who's
flag
it?
that we can plant?
How do we let anyone know that it's ours? Perhaps
good question.
Mochadis takes
Yeah,
it
a
for
flag.
himself.
That's typically how people do that, right?
He doesn't even know. He's not concerned with Goldenrod. I actually don't know if he's concerned with Goldenrod or not. But, it's ours until someone else takes it. How about that?
You could take the horses back to Ringol if you'd like. Or I could send him up to... You said you have land somewhere?
Oh, we do,
Ah.
but not with stables.
It's nowhere
Oh.
close. It's
I could... You know, I'm a bit your squire as well. I could commission a stable built there or something. Hire someone to take care of them.
No, that doesn't make...
That would be great.
To leave our horses up there, near Drasper.
so just a little coverage. You eat the grass. You should be fine.
That doesn't make any sense.
I can also just keep them in Urangol. Pay someone to stable them in Urangol. That's plenty fine. Or you can take them with you. I'm not sure. They might be able to make the mountain passes.
Are there any cities between here and the mountains?
Between here and the mountains? She looks east where the mountains rise out of the ground quite close by.
Looks at a mountain.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize they were that close.
It's like
We're
on
like
the map,
on the foothills.
You're right in the,
Okay.
the foothills of the mountain.
Yeah.
Well, I personally wouldn't mind sending them with Kaya to Oromond or wherever, really. I mean, I'd hate to... They're so beautiful, and I would hate to drag them underground and get them stuck in a hole or something like that.
Sure, I say-
Well, those of you who want to send some with me, you may, or if those of you who want to take horses, you can take your horse.
Let's send them all with Kaya. Kaya, you'll
I-
stable them somewhere for us, and we'll be in touch with you when we can.
Sure, I
She-
can stable them with the knights, free of charge.
Wonderful.
At least
Okay.
we know where they are.
Yeah.
And you know, you're always welcome there. Kif Powfellow will vouch for you, I'm sure. You're friends of Sir Langley.
Yes. That works for
I
everyone.
actually have no opinion. Everything everyone just said sounds amazing.
Just send the horse. I would say send the horses because they're not going to survive in a cave.
She takes
Yeah.
the horses and makes her way north along the road as you turn your gaze eastwards and making your way. Sorry?
Oh, Belle's not to prod, but you did seem pretty attached to that horse. Was that did you bond with that horse?
Oh, I love horses, and we have a journey ahead of us, and it made sense to take them with us, and they need someone to care for them, and we're just sending them off to be cared for by no one in particular, and
That's a good point. Wherever we go, it's likely that other people travel to this place on horse and stable their horses wherever the entrance is. Is that... I don't know. I've never been this far east.
Hey, Tyler, do I know that?
You would have no idea.
Okay.
You know that it's a lesser known entrance.
All I know about this place is that it's not the most popular route.
well, let's just send them with Kaya, and we'll make do. We've gotten this far.
Okay, let's do that. We'll be better on foot anyways.
Yes, if we can manage the veggie wilds, we can manage these mountains.
What's the weather like?
It is clear and kind of... There's a little bit of a chill in the air.
Uh-huh.
Seems like autumn is starting to actually set in at this point.
So, until he gets sweaty, he'll keep his clothes on. But if it starts getting sweaty as we go,
Sure.
he'll undo a top button and kind of, I don't know, he'll look like a pirate.
Love it.
Make your way eastwards, the mountains growing ever larger in your view. You forge your way deeper into the foothills, focusing on each hill in front of you. By the time you make camp this first evening, the landscape in front of you seems to have drastically changed. You see only great spans of stone stabbing the sky, spreading away to the north and south, and the grasslands waving in the wind behind you as the sun slowly sets. You make camp for your first evening. You see a bit of a climb in front of you. So, as we make camp, are there going to be any watches?
I'll take a watch for sure.
Yeah, I'll take the first one.
Y'all take the first one.
Okay, I'll take the second one.
Okay.
And I guess that leaves me for the third.
Cool. Can I have first watch rolls? Perception checks.
Ever been to that restaurant? First watch.
No.
If you want brunchy
10.
Tyler.
Oh, cool. 10?
10.
Mine is higher. Let me... 13.
13. It is a chilly night. Now that you're a little bit higher up in elevation, it really actually starts to set in. But it's also clear, and you can see around you for a fair distance in this first watch as the sun's light still kind of filters in, the stars light, the moonlight eventually. And all is still. Your watch comes and goes, and then second watch comes.
I rolled a 12.
12. You take over, and like the first watch, you see very little, except for the grass waving below, almost hypnotizing from this distance. But your watch comes to an end. Jeremy?
22.
22.
Oh, wait, plus nothing.
Plus nothing.
Perception, right?
Yeah. You spend a lot of time looking up at the mountains in front of you, gazing at them, and you can swear just out, like almost out of like distance of what you might be able to see, you see on one of the mountain faces a group of shadows, animals of some sort moving across its face.
It's like far. It's so far that I
You can barely see them.
right. So
yeah.
it's kind of like cool that I noticed them, but they're not an immediate threat.
No,
Not at all.
I mean, you have no idea if they even can see you.
Right. Okay. So it was like I saw it and I focused in, but I couldn't really tell what was going on. Okay. Yeah. So while he's on his watch, he'll just take note of that. But then, having a lot to do in many hours of a watch, he'll say a little prayer, so to speak. He throws up prayers, kind of like people do when they're in an emergency situation, not expecting them to really hit anywhere, but hoping they do.
Sure.
And so, though his patron's given him every reason to talk, so he'd say, "So, I hope it's okay if we take a little bit of a detour. I need to clear up some baggage in the from my past before we met, and then." If you want us to go to Zagsnik, then make it known, I suppose. I don't know what lies out there for me, and I don't know that I can convince my friends to go. So, that's on you. That's it.
You hear right behind you, like behind your left ear, a voice say, "A favor for a favor." And you turn around and there's no one there. "I'll tell you my name," you hear in the other ear, right directly behind you. "I'll tell you my name if you promise to go to Zagsnik."
Is that all I need to know? Is there any more?
There's always the need to know more.
So, what awaits us in Zagsnik?
The corruption of my husband, Oberon.
Tell me, has he hurt anyone?
Lives may be at stake, though not directly. But he has hurt me grievously.
That is an offense we cannot tolerate.
Will not.
Will not.
My name is Titania.
Titania. It's a beautiful name.
You say to the air, open and chilly. No response.
She eludes me again.
Sun starts to crest. Over the mountains, this close, a little bit late. Get to sleep in a bit. But before you know it, morning comes. And another day of travel. Sorry, I don't have to make you guys roll anymore. I have this nifty World Anvil table maker where I can roll.
Okay.
Check out our
Right.
affiliate link, worldanvil.pxf.io/rollslayers, if you want to check out these cool features.
As morning comes, an even more brisk day is upon you. You make your way over a next couple of set of hills and come to the first mountain of the Galfell Range. Quite small compared to the ones behind it, but imposing all the same. And you start to make your trek upwards. Could I have constitution checks from everyone? Just regular con checks, not saves. Yeah.
Which means you just add your con modifier.
Yep.
15.
Natural 20.
Natural
Ooh.
20.
22.
Nice. Remy?
18.
18.
Oh my
How
gosh.
is it that Belle
I
rolled
don't
those?
even know. That's so
That's
frustrating.
so weird. Oh my gosh.
I've actually got a
Whatever.
pretty good constitution, but natural 20.
As we're climbing up, I guess Remy is gonna kind of, what do you call those things that are scarves that can kind of turn into shawls? Go over your head. Is there a name for that?
Scarf.
Is that a thing at all?
Scarf shawl. I don't know.
I don't know. Anyways, Remy wraps his scarf up over his head and
It's a
puts on
gator.
a poncho. A gator.
That's not at all it, but yeah.
A scarf.
Remy kind of puts on his little puts the scarf up around his ears
A
and puts
shufa,
on
maybe? Do you want a fancier word? A shufa?
Yeah, I don't know how to say that.
That's it. It's a shufa.
There it
Shupa.
is. Case,
shoe-
case closed.
Fa.
Anyways, that's what it is. And he puts on his poncho.
Nice. What is your what is it, a patterned poncho or is it just a solid color? I'm just curious.
Liz, what's the pattern on the poncho?
What?
Yellow and
I
brown
don't know
plaid.
what it is. I had not planned a poncho until this very moment.
When I think of
And-
patterns on ponchos, I think of like Mayan patterns of like lots of right angles and
Nice.
very geometric woven. Yeah.
What
That
colors?
sounds good. What color is it?
Yeah.
It's the same shade of green as his scarf.
Beautiful. Remy, you get bundled up as you guys start to huff and puff up this small mountain, kind of switchbacking every now and then to get good footing. No road, so to speak of, as of yet. that
What are
you
we
could find.
following? Where are we just following
We're just
Remy?
following Remy.
Cool.
Deep into the mountain range, where supposedly there's a road that leads to Degguldaar.
Okay.
The last bits of this golden grass clinging to the mountain face, you leave that behind. But by the end of the day, you have summited and then made your way about halfway down this first mountain of the Galfell Mountains. Before you seems to be this mountain pass that opens up now that you crest this hill, or this mountain, where it seems like there's this little bit of a bowl, a ravine, that leads deeper into the range itself. You make camp for the second day. If you'd like to make watches, you may. If not, that's fine. Up to you guys.
First watch.
First watch.
Second watch.
Second watch.
I'll take second watch with bells.
All right. Third.
3.
All right. Let's go first watch.
All right. 21.
21. You see everything. Unfortunately, it's just a bunch of rocks
I have dark
pointing at
vision
the
now.
sky.
What color are the rocks?
They are actually kind of like this. These are like basalt, gray mountains with flecks of like more black onyx chips in them and flint, but they seem to be for the most part gray, darker gray.
But Tyler, what do they smell like?
What do mountains smell like?
What do these mountains smell like?
Well, so there aren't many trees or plants around, so it mostly smells like just kind of cool mountain air. It's not a very forested mountain range, especially on this side. It's very arid because it's got a coastal ecosystem that comes and bounces off the other side, which is why Zagasnik in that area is so rich and fertile.
Okay.
So if you ever smelled a rock on a cold day,
Cold rocks.
Cool.
awesome. Are we doing?
Yeah, sure. He's done.
Did we roll?
We're doing.
Oh.
You can roll.
Oh, sorry. Who's?
Your watch comes and goes without any disturbances, so to speak of. So you may second watch now.
All right. Guide us. Rolled a 15.
15.
And I'm kind of looking for the movement that I saw
Okay.
before.
22.
22. You don't spot it, but Bells, way up in the mountains, you spot shapes. And being a little bit closer today, you can actually make out that these are herd animals. You connect 2 and 2. These seem to probably be giant mountain goats way up.
Vinny, can you see those shapes moving? There's creatures. There's a herd of them over there.
I think I can just make them out. I actually saw them on my watch last night. I didn't want to alarm anyone, so I didn't mention it, but
I think they're those mountain goats that Remy was talking of.
oh yeah. I think if I squint my eyes, it kind of has that sort of a shape. Really big. They're actually a lot larger than I think a large, giant goat, it's like a little bit bigger than a normal goat.
Yes.
Those are huge.
Yes.
Well, maybe we can rope one on. I don't know, saddle one up.
Oh, yes, I'd love to see you do that. You should absolutely try.
I will do it. Don't tempt me.
I'm daring you. Absolutely. I don't believe that you can do it. I don't believe that you would try.
Oh, I'll try. If we get close enough, if it seems feasible or even just outside of feasibility, to quote Remy, I'll try and saddle that goat.
Well, I would love to see it.
I'm not very experienced with animals, but
Which
I have
is why I would
an
love to see
enormous
it.
amount of confidence.
Oh, yes. That doesn't need to be announced.
As you guys are discussing animal wrangling, the pitter-patter of light rain starts to fall around you. And some of it kind of bounces off the ground, a little bit frozen, you can see.
Oh dear.
Oh,
This is going to be bad. Do we bring enough gear for keeping us warm in this?
I have no idea.
Did not bring any warm weather gear, no.
I just pull up my hood of my cloak and huddle in. We don't have any cover. Is there like cover in the rocks? Could we kind of look around and see if
Yeah,
there's
you
some
can
kind of...
try and find like a small alcove
Mm-hmm.
to relocate to under.
Mhm.
The rest of you get woken up and quickly fall back asleep under a little alcove. But the rest of your watch, nothing eventful happens. And Cyrus, you're able to take your third watch.
Yeah.
Before we did that, I just wanted to say something to Bells. And just say, hey, we're gonna figure this out.
you think so?
We're gonna figure it out. We've been traveling what? 6 months? Taking one thing after the other? We're gonna figure it out.
Are you really here for that? You're not going anywhere.
Where would I go? I honestly, I set out when I left Alanar. When I said, to hell's with all of this, I went to Ormond, the first big city that I could find. I was a young, in my teens. And I just began to climb ladders. That was I found someone to take me in, and I began to do as much as I could for that person to try and prove myself. To show that I'm worth, I don't know, that I would just trying to do something meaningful.
Yes.
And you know what? If I could make a little bit of money and we've already got the land, if I could move my mother to that land, if I knew that land was safe and beautiful and would be just as rich in nature around her as our home, then I would move her out there and take care of her. That's it. But personally, I'm tired of being a silver piece. And I wear, and he pulls out his coin, I wear this name as a badge of honor, because it's the only one that I have. But it was a slight from my grandfather. It was him saying that I would never amount to anything. And I know that it seems petty to try and prove your ancestors wrong. But I'm going to do it anyway. And he will know, and everyone will know, that I'm not just a silver piece. And this group of people, the type of work that we take on, it's more honorable than anything that I've ever done. I've fallen in with crooks and thieves and, people who are up to no good. And to be honest, we're all out making the best decision we know how to make in the moment that we make it. It's not like we set out and say, I want to be in Kako. I think everybody wants to be good. We want to do something good. And so, this is the best thing I've ever done. So I'm here. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay.
I think it took a lot of people to show me that. And I certainly was suspicious, but I'm not going anywhere. And you shouldn't either.
I don't want to.
Good. Stick with us. We're gonna figure it out.
Okay.
It's gonna be alright.
Okay.
How are you feeling about your father, by the way? And I know we revisited it, but he said they were gonna go arrest him, I guess.
Honestly, I'm not sure that they're wrong to arrest him. I don't really understand the intricacies, and I don't understand what he's thinking. I've never understood what he's thinking, but if he's standing for religious oppression, I don't think that's something that should be allowed to continue.
Yeah, and I remember that story you told me about your friend.
Yes. I still have no idea what happened to him. I don't know if he's alive or not.
Well, unfortunately, people in power have only one religion, which is to maintain that power.
Yeah.
And if they don't
You
have
have
that
to tell
religion,
me.
it's only a matter of time. So even this Duke up in Ormond, he may have noble intentions at first. I don't expect them to last.
Really?
It's just kind of the way of things, to be honest. Something that we should be conscious of as we make a name for ourselves. That we are always checking each other. We should. You can ask me anytime, what are you really thinking? I'll tell you.
Okay. Okay. I just feel so lost, honestly. I don't know what to believe or what is right or what is good.
We don't have to. I don't think we need to figure it out all at once, and I think it probably changes from time to time. But I'm still figuring that out as well, so if you'll have a little bit of, I don't know, give me a little bit of slack and wiggle room as we figure it out, I'll do the same for you. Hopefully, as a group, we can, really band together around something that really makes sense.
Okay. I can do that.
Right, I'm gonna go get Cyrus so we can get some sleep.
Cyrus, you're woken for your watch.
Jeremy just gave that whole spiel with a chip loaded with salsa in his
Nice.
hand the entire time.
I was mostly watching
I
the
was
salsa. I was like, oh, please don't spill that everywhere.
Like, how are you doing this?
Cyrus is gonna get up and as he's emerging from his bedroll, he's going to say, "No, bedroll's coming with me. It's too cold for this, and I need some new socks."
And then he just says, it's not much, but prestidigitation hopefully dries the socks.
You are noticeably drier as you sit under the kind of the overhanging ledge and take a look out for the morning watch.
Salsa's really good, by the way.
My perception.
Yes.
Sorry, that was my portable roll. So I just did. Ooh,
Did you say your important roles?
yeah,
They are important.
3 on perception.
3. With the rain coming down, it almost kind of blinds you, especially there isn't much moonlight or starlight, but thankfully the sun rises and you didn't need to be looking out. There was no apparent danger.
Oh, good.
Next day.
I'm too busy grumbling about the cold
Yes.
to notice
My old
anything.
bones. Next day comes and you make your way down the rest of the mountain into this valley. About a quarter of the way through the day, you pick up in the valley a stone, 2, 3, kind of carved into the ground, the remnants, and then a road meandering through the valley of
Well-
carved stone.
He did it.
You found it, Remy. This is it, isn't it?
I assume so.
Remy, taking a look at this is definitely dwarven stonework.
Ah, yes, the fine craftsmanship of the dwarves. Unmistakable.
It is actually quite impressive. It's like the level of Machu Picchu where the stones are fit together so like tightly. It's almost almost to the point where it's fused stone, but there's this tiny little crack. But yeah, there's a road that you are able to follow. The mountains now starting to rise on either side of you as you're going through this valley.
Now, dwarves are just Mayan in my head canon. That's what's happened.
Sorry about that. I don't control
Wait, so
headcanons.
The stonework is the path, or
The path.
okay.
So it's like fit together in the act. It's carved stone blocks that have been sunk into the rocky
Okay.
ground.
Cyrus
Does it
is
look-
going to very pointedly wipe his feet off before stepping onto this path.
Right. It's very honorable of you, Cyrus.
Well,
Does
Trying to
this,
set a
does
good
this look
example.
disused?
Make a survival check.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. 10.
Does not seem like this path has been used in a while.
Just a little sidebar here. I watched a video one time about how the Thomas the Tank Engine theme song slaps real hard. And this guy was just talking about how much groove it had. And I was like convinced. I was like, wow, this is actually really good. So it's like compositionally, it's actually pretty excellent.
Is that what he was singing?
Yeah, I was just humming that absent-mindedly.
I was like, how does this connect?
I don't
To the
know. I didn't
road.
watch enough of that show.
Have y'all seen the Thomas the Tank Engine Biggie Smalls
we can't do this.
mashup?
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You make your way down the road,
Thank
a
you.
bit smoother of a path, and the mountains continue to rise to where you're almost in the shadow of them
Ooh.
for the rest of the day.
I look back and try to see, like, when we got on the mountain path,
Mhm.
how far did it go back and where did it go? Like, can we see where it was coming from?
The mountain, you're on the road.
I know, look, we're going one direction. I'm looking the other to see kind of like, what does it look like?
Like, where was the rest of the road?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
didn't. It kind of petered off to where there were only a few stones then sunk into the ground. It looks like the rest of the road is gone, or at least
Or just wasn't there. And
not maintained enough to retain a road. So
Okay.
it kind of just ends where you guys picked it up.
Oh, okay. We picked it up at the end of it. Okay,
Mhm.
cool. I was just curious.
No, it's no problem.
Well,
The rest of your day comes and goes, but you end your day at a massive cliff that the road leads up to. It seems like there's a bunch of rubble and rocks that have fallen down the side of the cliff where perhaps the road journeyed up the side of the cliff, but it's no longer there. And as you sit to make camp in front of the cliff, that's where we'll end tonight's episode.
all right.
Whoa.
Okay.
Bum 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 bum. Ba, ba, da, da.